Hey y'all, it's me, Irma from The Rice Life, and Miss Ellie here. So yeah, so we're here to do a video all about I think I'm gonna title it like tips for natural childbirth or something like that. If you all aren't familiar with our channel, Ellie was born, oh there's your burp. Ellie was born at home, and we had a natural water birth with her. Let's see, Kaine's birth was in a hospital, and that was, I think his birth was like 32 hours start to finish. And I want to say I got an epidural after either 27 or 29 hours, I can't remember, but I got an epidural right there at the end with him. He was the longest labor and delivery I've ever had, and I remember his epidural taking on only my left side, I'm pretty sure. So so yeah, that's the background with Kaine. And with Karsyn, her birth was like 5 hours start to finish at a birthing center, and I gave birth on my hands and knees, and John caught her, and I'll probably link that video somewhere up here. Was the eye in the sky, I'll put it up there. But so her birth was like 5 hours, and that was all natural too. And then Kylan's was about, I think it was a little over 2 hours start to finish, and his was a water birth, and that was also at a birthing center. And yeah, so like I said, Ellie's was at home in the water. And the biggest question, or the most frequently asked question that I got on her labor and delivery video, on her birth vlog, was I actually wrote them down. Let me see, hold on y'all. Okay, so one of the questions that I got was, where do you go in your head when you have a natural childbirth? Like, in the video you can kind of see I'm kind of spaced out doing my own thing, so I'm going to talk about that. How long did you push? How long do you hold your breath? That kind of thing. And so yeah, so the person asked, where do you go in your head? I don't have an answer for that, guys. And the main thing about natural childbirth is it's all your experience, it's all you. So I can't tell you where I go in my head, because it's my head. And so for me, a big part of natural childbirth to me, and I've been saying this for years, I always say that it's so, like, childbirth in general is so medicalized, and we're just programmed, our society programs us to fear childbirth, fear it as the worst thing in the world, that kind of thing. Like, oh, it's the worst pain you're ever gonna experience. I don't associate, or I try not to associate childbirth with pain. I know that sounds a little weird, but I always say that the pain that you experience is coming from within you, so it's not stronger than you are. I'm like, it'd be a lot different if someone were just stabbing you, that kind of thing, but inflicting pain, inflicting an injury on you or something like that. But with childbirth, it's coming from within you, so it's not that. And there's the kids running down the hallway. But with childbirth, the pain that you're experiencing is coming from within you, so I don't feel like it's any stronger than you are. I don't feel like it's something you can't get through. Of course, this is cliche, but our bodies are meant to do it. And so when I really adopted that mindset with Karsyn, then my labor and deliveries went a lot smoother after that. So like I said, the pain that you're experiencing isn't stronger than you are, so I don't think there's any need to fear it. So the first thing is getting your mind right. That's the main thing. So where do I go in my head? Y'all, during that labor and delivery, I was singing worship songs. I was just kind of zoned out, doing my own thing. I tried not to focus on it. With Kylan, I did hypnobirthing. I didn't do a refresher with Ellie because I just didn't have time to. But I kind of still honed in on some of my hypnobirthing techniques. Just, just breathing, and just, oh God, y'all, there's so much. But just breathing, and just honestly knowing that you're going to get through it. Knowing that your body is strong, you can handle it. I had affirmations everywhere. I had, printed affirmations, and they were streamed in the living room. And when I would open my eyes and glance up, it would just say, like, you are strong, your body's meant to do this, that kind of thing. The main thing is just preparing your mindset. Because I always say, even with pain, we don't know we're in pain. No, we don't know we're in pain. But let's just say we cut our arm or something, and it doesn't register that we're in pain until the signal goes to our brain. So a lot of it is mental. And I say just prepare your mind even before getting pregnant. But I would say affirmations every day. I would say, I'm going to have an amazing labor and delivery. I don't ever say pain. Like, I don't ever want to associate childbirth with pain. So I don't say I'm going to have a painless labor and delivery. I don't ever say that, because as soon as you hear pain, you automatically think negative. So I would just say, I'm going to have an amazing labor and delivery. My baby's going to come fast, and the labor and delivery is going to be effortless. It's really just affirmations, guys. And affirmations really help set your mind, help set the tone for your labor and delivery, and help set your just get your mind right. So the main thing is getting your mind right. So when you ask, where do I go in my head, Oh, you okay? Oh. So when you ask where do I go in my head, I go to a positive place in my head because I've already got my mind right. I already set, you know, set my mind up to say, Emerald, this is an amazing experience. Even though you're uncomfortable, you know, you're gonna have a wonderful, you know, the end result is gonna be wonderful. So not really seeing every contraction that you get as something that is, oh God, another contraction. Just saying, oh, everything I feel is getting me closer to meeting my baby. So that's kind of the mindset I have with labor and delivery. Yeah. And so another thing is too, how long did you push? Hold your breath. Y'all, I don't know. I don't go by that because your body's gonna do what it needs to anyway. So when the midwife would say push, and that's because Ellie, she was kind of like behind the pubic bone. That's why she really took a while to come out. If you saw the labor and delivery video, she was behind the pubic bone forever. And I think once she actually, even the midwife said, once she really got under that pubic bone, then, you know, all bets were off. But I would feel her kind of go up under the pubic bone and then go back, go up and then go back. So every time I got a contraction, she would inch forward and then she would inch back. So in the video, when I asked the midwife, like, what do you see? She would say, every time you get a contraction, meaning every time, you know, your uterus pushes the baby down, then I see the head. And so when I heard that, I got discouraged because I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. This is going to take forever. So I went to sleep. I was like, I'm doing this tomorrow. I'm not doing this today. Yeah, but the main thing is I didn't count, okay, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. There's no way to do that when you're in the zone. Like, there's nobody count for me, breathe 1 2 3 4. It's a lot different. I think, you know, considering the fact that I had an OB with my first and then midwives with the second, third, and fourth, it's just a lot different in a home birth setting or in a birth center setting versus in a hospital. Because in a hospital, you're more prone to have nurses and OBs that are like, okay, hold your breath, 10 seconds, that kind of thing. And midwives and, you know, it's just a more laid back setting. They pretty much let you, you know, go with your body. So if I needed to push for 10 seconds, and I pushed for 10 seconds. If I need to push for 2 or 3 seconds until her head came under that pubic bone, then that's what I did. So there's no rhyme or reason. There's no method to the madness. It's just a matter of getting baby out. So when you say how long did I hold my breath or how long did I push, it was not a thing that was, it wasn't a thing that was so timed. It was controlled for me, but it was my control, if that makes sense. So I was able to control, you know, how I pushed her down, how I got her out, that kind of thing. Her shoulders did get stuck at the end. And so I know in the video, I think I screamed. I want to say I screamed once or twice at the end, and a tear, y'all, that thug tear rolled down because it was real, okay? But John said that he could tell her shoulders were getting stuck. And so the midwife kind of moved up and then down with her, and that's when I screamed. And then the midwife was like, you know, oh, not a scream, give me a push, that kind of thing. And so so yeah, so I did, even with that, I didn't hold my breath for a certain amount of time. She just literally told me what to do to get the baby out. Another thing is, does moaning help with labor and delivery? Yes, for me, I'm what's considered a vocal birther. So if I sound like very primal, then that's what that is. I'm a vocal birther. So that means that I moan, I grunt, and that to me is what gets the baby down. Screaming is very ineffective when you're having a baby. And so whenever I would want to scream, I would just you know, moan, that kind of thing. And when you moan, you're not using so much energy and you're just pushing your baby down that way. The more you scream, the more energy it's going to take. I was already exhausted, guys. I'd already worked almost 40 hours that week already. I was exhausted going into labor and delivery. And so if I had screamed, y'all, I would probably still been in labor. Like, it was just, to me, it was a really fast labor and delivery, but I was already so exhausted that I knew if I screamed, then it would take even longer. So whenever I would get a contraction, it was a lot easier for me to just moan through it. And I've been a vocal birther with all 4 of the babies. So yeah, so if you do get to the point where you want to scream, don't feel like being a vocal birther is a weird thing. I remember with Kaine, I was a very vocal birther, and I was in the hospital, and I was made to feel like it was like I was odd or it was weird. And by the time I had Karsyn, I was like, this is what my body does. My body moans, my body grunts, and that's when my body gets the baby down. And so by the time I had Karsyn, y'all, I didn't care how primal or, you know, anything. I didn't care how it sounded. Like, that's how I get my babies out. And so some people are vocal birthers, some people are very quiet, you know, very intrinsic. I feel like I'm an intrinsic vocal birther. So there you go. And so another thing about the pushing, fetal ejection reflex is what I'm really big on. I happened to push a little more with Ellie than I thought I would. With Kylan, I didn't push it all with him. He just kind of made his way out. And that's the main thing when someone says, how long do you push or hold your breath? Your baby's gonna come out whether you want it to or not. And so instead of really trying to force your baby out, just kind of let your baby do their own thing. Like I said, to me, I could tell Ellie's shoulders were stuck, and she's got wide shoulders like the boys, but I could tell that her shoulders were stuck and we'd have to do a little more work. But even with Kylan, he ended up coming right down. I didn't push at all with him. Like, I pushed instinctively, but no one told me to push. And so, but trust, you know, trust your baby, trust your instincts. And like I said, just Google, if you want, Google fetal ejection reflex. And it just shows you that we don't have to push our babies out. Our babies are going to come whether we want them to or not. And so, that way, when you think that way, just think of it like a partnership. Like, you're helping to get your baby down, but your baby's doing a lot of the work too. And so that way you won't be so stressed out about how long do I push, how long do I hold, that kind of thing. Now, if there's a situation where the shoulders are stuck or something like that, then or if there's like a force of delivery, then of course it'll be a little different. But for the most part, with an uncomplicated labor and delivery, then really trust your body and trust your baby. Let's see, another thing that I put down is don't fight it. I can even say with Ellie, near the end, I fought it. Like, I would feel her coming down and I was tired, y'all, and I didn't feel like feeling that ring of fire, and I didn't feel like going through labor and delivery. I was exhausted, and so I really did fight with her at the end. I fought to you know, I was exhausted, and honestly I wanted some sleep. But honestly, like I said, when she went under that pubic bone, there was no turning back. And so of course near the end I couldn't fight it. She was going to come out whether I wanted her to or not. So just really go with your body, and every time you feel a contraction, don't kind of tense up and fear it. Just know every contraction that I get is getting my body closer to delivering my baby. So do not fight the urge to or don't fight the contractions. If you have the urge to push, don't fight that, because then you'll meet your baby. So yeah guys, so that's just a few tips that I have for a successful natural childbirth. The main thing is just getting your mind prepared. For me, it was getting mentally prepared, spiritually prepared. This was a big thing for me, and it was a big thing for our family. And so just really finding that intrinsic motivation. And if you're a person that said, oh, I've had 3 epidurals and I want to do a natural birth, you know, really hone in on why you want to go that route this time. Not that I'm saying you can't do it, because your body's meant to do it anyway, but you know, this is labor and delivery. It's not a comparison game. It's not a, oh, I had an epidural versus a natural birth versus a home birth versus a hospital. It's not that, guys. For me, labor and delivery is a very spiritual thing. It's very intimate, even though it's on YouTube. I mean, people can view it. But to me, labor and delivery and just childbirth in general is a really intimate and spiritual type thing. So I mean, if you're that type of person, I say really hone in on the reasons that you want to do it, because that will also help, you know, shape your mindset and get you really excited and you know, in a positive place about it. Because you don't want to look at a labor and delivery and say, I want to do that, but I'm fearful, you know. And so the biggest thing was when people said, where do I go in my head? I just go to a positive place that I've already prepared in my head. And that makes it a lot easier. So if you have any questions or comments or concerns, let me know. I feel like this video, it could have been a lot longer, but this is just kind of the intro to it. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. If you want me to elaborate on anything, let me know. I guess I can show you baby girl. She's asleep. And she was just being fussy. There she is. This the baby. This the baby girl. This my baby. Here's my sweet Ellie girl. Yeah, all over. All over. Oh my gosh, y'all. So there's the baby girl. And I wish I could see her little legs sticking out. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. If you want me to elaborate any more on my labor and delivery, I'm going to do a labor and delivery story this week too, so be on the lookout for that. But if you want me to elaborate on more of the labor and delivery, more of the natural aspects of it, then let me know. Oh, another big thing was water birth, and the water helps a ton. You know, we all call water nature's epidural or the aquadural. And so once I get in the water, my body just kind of sinks into it, and it does take a lot of the pressure away. It takes your mind off of it. It's just, water is amazing. And so if you do have the option to do a water birth with your natural childbirth, I say do that. Even if you can't give birth in the water, definitely try to labor in the water, that kind of thing. Yeah, if that's an option for you. But yeah, the water helped a ton. Yeah, it just makes you feel weightless, which feels good. And it's yeah, so see you guys. If you have any questions, leave them down. Once again, leave them in the comments, and I will get to them as soon as I can. And we will see y'all in our next video, right? Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. All right, bye, y'all.
Like and subscribe. Join us for the ride.